What would you guys like to do in your victory?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm also gonna move over to Hilga, and I'm gonna use Lay on Hands again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give her 5 hit points.
All right.
Wow.
So you see, most of the wounds themselves heal up. At least there's no bleeding anymore. You can tell that it still really hurts. It's not mended flesh; it's just kind of scabbed.
Okay.
You had not poured enough into it to really resuscitate anything, but you notice that the rotted flesh has not disappeared around her throat. She looks up to you. The hat long since disappeared. The red hair pulled tight into a military-style bun, and you just see like pleading in her eyes, and you realize that she can't speak.
Oh shit.
That's not good. Does she like try to mouth words, or her mouth doesn't even move?
She's trying. You can tell that she's really trying to like. She says something along the lines of like "it hurts," and pointing to her throat. Basically trying to plead with you to do something about it, even though you just poured hit points into her.
Anybody got something? I got nothing.
You give me an hour, I might.
We need to, take her.
Me and what healing?
I think we need to make whatever, we need to take a look at this room as quickly as we can, and then we need to bolt and take her back.
I'm going to finish investigating thoroughly.
Okay. If anybody who wants to look around the room, please make me investigation checks.
Okay, I will look around the room.
Oh, sure. Let's roll a 19 on the investigation check and nothing above a 10 when I'm trying to actually hit something.
I'm probably too focused on Hilga to investigate, so I'm going to pass on the roll.
Okay.
Do I hurt myself while investigating?
Estbern, Estella, you are...
Estella trips down the ziggurat.
So you don't make it very far, Estella. You're still focused on this gigantic monstrosity that just attacked you. And laying at your feet is the silvered hand of the skeleton in the sarcophagus. Its index finger has been completely ripped off. You guys have no idea where it went. Either Hilga might still be holding on to it, or she cast it aside to a random corner. But the mostly complete hand is sitting there. Even with your nat 1, you can tell that the rings themselves are still slightly glowing.
I will. I want to grab the hand, the severed hand.
That's gonna end well.
Yeah, a little bit scared about that, but I did roll a nat 1, so.
Estbern.
Yes, sir.
What would you like particularly to investigate?
Oh, do I get the hand, by the way, Sarge?
Would you like to pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have gloves on? Or any type of protection?
I assume I have gloves on, because, well, her picture doesn't, but
okay.
I would have gloves.
That's perfectly fine. Where would you like to put it? Some type of traveler's pack?
Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to put it inside my backpack. I think I'm going to tie it on top of my backpack. So, just like, severed hand, kind of like a bedroll.
Okay. Right on top. All right. Cool beans. Nothing happens. At least that you know of.
Oh, God. I'm nightmares.
You just pick it up. It's not moving. It's not trying to claw at you or nothing. It's a skeleton's hand.
Okay,
we're going to camp, and she's going to try to kill us in her sleep because the skeleton took her over.
Horrible nightmares.
Estbern, like I said, what exactly are you investigating here?
The sarcophagus itself, the machinery, to see if I could tell, maybe where it came from, or, if I'd read anything, similar to it.
Sure.
Or, if parts of it were similar to things I've read.
You notice that with a brief amount of stuff, because you're still really woozy. You lost a lot of blood with that claw.
Yeah.
You kind of crawl over to it and sit on the platform and kind of straddle one of the legs as you're looking down, and you notice that the etchings themselves, again, are very, very well made. It was almost like, a master craftsman's work. You can barely tell any of the etchings are even there unless there's a specific set of light on it. The glass itself was really well made. Like, Samael swung hard at it a few times, and even direct hits on it managed to shrug it off. You haven't seen glass of that quality ever. Very, very few people can maintain that quality of glass. The arms and apertures themselves, all old style to do it, but they work. They work very efficiently. In fact, looking at it, you probably pick up a few ideas. If you ever do pick this kind of thing back up again, you might have a few suggestions on how to improve it.
Okay.
But it was obviously very effective.
Gotcha.
You kind of see the entry points of where the steam was going into it, and you realize that this was a... basically, it was feeding itself some steam from some location. You don't know from where. But the steam basically kept it in a neutral state and ready to go, almost like a ready state. It wasn't powered down completely, but then again, it wasn't activated until you guys had walked in. The thing that you really pick up on are the gemstones that are still left in the crown. Even the pieces of what you can pick up. You notice that the half of the emerald, you kind of piece it back together real quick, and you do see what looks to be a rune. But you've never seen this rune before. Like, even in the amount of time that you've been studying it and picking up on your arcanism, you have no idea what this rune means. You see it's the same thing on the sapphire and the ruby that you pull out.
The same rune?
Not the same. They're different runes.
I'm going to copy them all down
into
a book.
You basically kind of sweep up the pieces of the gem shards, the black diamond shards. But they come out fairly easy with a little bit of working with your dagger.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I make a copy of those runes, and take notes on what, if there were other runes around them, if there was like any sort of insight that I could gain into what they are used for and what they did and all that good stuff.
As far as you know, you have no clue. There were no other runes present on it, but if you just want to take notes down on it, that's perfectly fine.
I will find out someday.
Sparrow. So you start tearing apart the rest of the alcoves. They're all filled with books. Every single last one of them. However, with the last one that you come up to, you notice that your treasured little book is sitting on top of one of them.
You've gotta be fucking kidding me!
And you
That's a
open
great
it,
reaction.
and it's completely blank. Your book is completely blank. So, you're confused. Flip through a few pages, still blank. Nothing's there. And as you kind of close it to look around, you notice that the book that it was sitting on has an infernal title. You don't know all of the words, but you do pick up Viper.
Open.
It's all written in infernal.
Can I pick up any words?
You pick up some words. You pick up things like spell, risen, day. Just random stuff that you've heard around in common use, but nothing really that you can super piece together. So,
I'm going to take this book.
Would you like to check this out as you kind of pass by it?
Yeah.
Okay. The blood splatter is kind of focused in this area. You see lots of paper scattered about that has been soaked up with this dried, caked-on blood to the point where it is stuck to the marble. It's almost fused with it. There's heavy layers of dust over it, but you can kind of tell that there was some sort of symbol that was scratched out here. And in the middle of it, just in one little spot that's completely clear of pages, but still laying in blood, there's a small black dagger. It looks kind of like a stiletto. Very, very long, very thin, It's meant for quick stabs instead of like slashes. It doesn't look different than any other stiletto. It looks really shiny for what type of place this is.
I'm gonna poke it with my dagger.
It reacts as a dagger would when poked by another dagger.
Aha! I don't know.
The dagger does not take kindly to its prodding. It's a dagger.
I'm gonna hold my hand over it, not touching it, but hold my hand over it. Does there feel anything, or do I get like a gut feeling that I should not be doing this?
The dagger is slightly uncomfortable with your proximity. It's a dagger. There's nothing coming off of it.
You're molesting this dagger. I'm sorry for this dagger.
Bad touch! Bad touch!
No.
Yeah, if you're worried about
I'm
it,
going to
you
pick
could
it
ask me
up.
to come over.
Huh?
I'm going to pick it up.
You pick it up. Congratulations. You're holding a dagger.
Huh. Okay. Are there any runes or anything on it?
Not that you can see. It looks a bit more stylized than normal. You can see a few faint patterns, but not like runes, just patterns on it, etched close to the base of the blade itself. The hilt has a really very soft leather to it. It feels like it's worn leather, but when you look at it, it looks freshly stitched.
Well, I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna have to get you a little sheath, huh?
So, Samael, you notice that Hilga is starting to gasp. And tears are coming to her eyes, but there's no sound coming out of her mouth. It doesn't look like she's going into a fit of spasms or anything. It just looks like she's hurting. She's genuinely hurting.
Is she hyperventilating, or is she having issues breathing?
Just she looks like she might be hyperventilating. I mean, do you have medicinal, anything like that? Anybody have medicine? Do we have a doctor in the house?
Yes. Well,
I
no.
am untrained.
Yes, actually, shit. I have proficiency.
Can I make a roll to see if I can figure out what's going on with her?
Sure. A medicine check.
Okay.
Believe we have
No.
medicine. Yes, we do.
Can I make my way over there and also examine her?
Samael, would you call anybody else?
No, like
Oh yeah.
after. Oh, I mean, sure, that's too.
Okay, so because you have no idea what's going on, you
Yeah.
just see
I'm
her
like,
her
something
chest
is wrong
start-
here. So I look over to like, well, I mean, Sparrow's probably out of range for me to really see because she's behind the ziggurat. But I look at Estbern and Estella and say, "Hey, I need help over here. She's going into shock or something." Well, I
Okay.
probably wouldn't say shock, but she's, something's wrong here.
Okay.
I get summoned.
15.
Me and my amazing medical skills.
You recognize quickly that.
Oh, I got an 18.
Oh my god!
I'm useless.
You both recognize that it's not shock. She has blood enough for that kind of thing. However, it looks like she's crying, like just straight up, but without the audio clues of it. It's hard to tell. She has a very panicked look in her eyes as she keeps like trying to almost claw at her throat. And you guys notice that as she's doing so, like as her nails touch it, it's taking a little bit more off with each kind of pass. Just this kind of gray, almost not ooze, but like just dead flesh. Like she's just scraping off dead flesh.
It's like how deep has she scraped off?
She hasn't scraped off a lot. It's not getting deep.
Okay.
You can tell that she just doesn't know what she's doing. Like obviously you can't see it. She has no idea what's going on with her throat right now. And it's either that the pain cells are dead or she's not receiving signals. It's just not. It's not like you can obviously tell she can't feel it as whatever she's doing.
Is it like obvious that it's going and eating at her like vocal cords or something? Or it's just like she just can't make any noise?
She just can't make any noise.
But it's not like, because she doesn't have vocal cords or something. Like,
I mean, you really don't know. All you
I'm
can
an
tell.
18. I might know. My medicine is an 18, Mr. Sarge.
So even with that, there's only so much that you can figure out without number one, proper light, because all you have is the torch that's sitting on the edge of the Zugrat still. It's still woefully dark in here, and you know that she's been hit hard. Without proper examination, there's only so much that you'll be able to deduce.
Okay.
You just know that area doesn't seem to be feeling anything.
I think we should bandage it up and then hurry her out of here so that all the people in Silver Shore can assist.
Yeah, my uncle got into town recently. Estbern kind of hesitates. He knows things.
What kind of things?
Medicinal thing?
Yeah.
Hoping
That would
it's
be good.
medicinal things.
After a fashion.
It feels like he's about to say medicinal weed.
You
I
guys
know a
want the
guy.
good stuff?
All right, I don't know if we need to linger here anymore. Like, the quicker we get her on the surface, the better.
There is one party member missing.
Nah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's me.
Kidding, I'm kidding.
Wow.
You're just having everyone as enemies. Goodness, Jacob.
I really wasn't going to fling this dagger at the back of your unprotected neck and kill you, but now that you mention it...
The dagger seems to be whispering me. Nope, that's just my own thoughts. All right.
Pick her up, and I guess we'll carry her and keep going.
Okay.
I'll look over and kind of call out to Sparrow and let her know that we're heading out if there's any reason for us to stay a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay. I
right.
think we're ready to move.
So you guys, as you guys exit, carrying, you managed to walk all the way back up to the front of Folsted's shop. I'm sorry, Toldor's shop. And the guard are very, they have the bodies of Bartholomew and...
Oh no, Bartholomew!
oh, what's the other man's name? Forget.
The other dude.
The other guy.
Matthias or something?
I think so.
Red
Matthias.
shirt number 2.
Red shirt
Yeah.
number 2. They're both laying. It looks like they have just gotten blankets for them and are holding them over. There's a priest of Forehorn that has shown up in his dark robes and is basically saying their rites. What do you guys? The standing person in charge comes over and sees Hilga and is just in shock. What happened to the rest of? Where is everybody? What happened down there?
Sparrow giggles a little and just kind of mutters something like sing-songy, like death comes for us all, or something like that, kind of creepy.
Oh.
How tactless.
Yeah. Can we help her before we talk about this? And I gesture over to Hilga.
Absolutely, yes. Let's. Oh, there should be.
We need to bring her to my uncle,
We
Who's your
have to bring her
uncle?
to...
Ephraim Rorick. He's part of the Artisans Guild. He should be able to help. I hope.
Where's your uncle? How do we get there?
It's a great question.
Well, we
Sarge?
were. Okay. You know that he lives in the Ixros district, so he's not too far away. Okay. The guard looks between all of you. What? Geez. We should really get her to a doc. All right. Well, if you think he's gonna help, let's go. Let's get her where she needs to go. And Snaps and 2 other guards appear by your side. Estbern, if you would like to lead the way. He's going to have his own little chateau. Not chateau. Just kind of a small house. A 2-story house in the Ixros district.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Estbern he'll knock on the door.
And a shorter, bald man answers the door and kind of peeks around a moment behind large glasses that have several magnifying glasses in front of them. And he looks up at Estbern? What?
Yeah.
What is all of this?
Quit. There's no time, Jeeves. Is my uncle there?
Yes, Ephraim,
Jeeves?
Sire Ephraim's here. What's going on?
I need to speak with him privately, with these foreign heat jerks his thumb to the party, and then Hilga. Hilga. I was close.
Yes, come. I'll fetch him immediately. And you see he's a much stouter man, and he kind of waddles off. He is your uncle's assistant.
Right.
Not exactly servant, but he takes care of all the smaller stuff that your uncle doesn't. You all get welcomed into a very esoteric living room. There are papers and pieces of machinery everywhere. You have a feeling that this is pretty much the same thing for every artisan ever. There's unfinished projects on every table. There's paperweights of failed projects. There's journals upon journals stacked in the corners. It's a very comfy room. Like it's very homey. It's very lived in, very colorful. But there's just a lot of crap in it. As you guys walk in, the Jeeves sits you down and quickly waddles off. Master Ephraim, and you hear, "What? I am busy, Jeeves!" screaming down the stairs. I know, sir, but your wonderful nephew is here, and he's trying to get your attention with 4 other people, include one woman who seems very. And he looks back at her, and you can see him struggling for words. Well, she's in a bad way, Master.
Oh, goodness.
And you
Kind
you
of
hear,
on this. Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Kind of on the sly, as we were walking over here, Sparrow kind of linked her pinky in with Hilga's pinky.
Oh,
Because
okay.
she's really bad at this, people thing.
This comfort thing.
That's adorable.
She doesn't understand what she's
It's
doing.
adorable.
but
It's-
She knows
it's cool.
that made her feel better while she was losing her mind, and she's struggling not to still lose her mind. So she's like, "This made me feel better before, so maybe it'll work again."
Okay. So you guys, Samael, how are you reacting to this?
I guess I sit her down on a couch.
Okay. How is Samael reacting to this though? Like what's going on in his head? Like how is he standing? What's going on with him?
I think he's just kind of waiting to see what happens. He's hoping the doctor can actually help because
Okay.
he
So
doesn't.
so he's a bit
Medicinally, it
anxious.
is. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you hear kind of a throwing of materials and a crashing upstairs, and a very slight man. Am I kind of feeding back? to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
maybe
Hold on.
feedback, yeah.
Hold on. How's that? Is that better?
That's better. Yeah.
So,
Wait.
Check.
mostly.
Check. 1 2. Mic 1 2. I love
Yeah,
you
that's
all.
fine.
Okay.
Check,
All right.
check.
That's weird. Okay, so you hear kind of the crash of materials, the thump of feet, and a very slender man in a very well fitted red coat with small golden shoulder pads. Comes downstairs. He's got a goatee that comes down to a small point, jet black hair, and just absolutely massive eyebrows. Which are currently lifted in surprise. They're set over nice brown eyes, and he realizes, number one, that there's a lot of people in his living room, and number two, one of them looks awful. And he immediately rushes over, completely disregards everybody else, and rushes right over to Hilga and goes, "Ma'am," grabs, on 2 knees in front of her and grabs her hand, the one not held by Sparrow at this point. And grabs her hand. "Ma'am, are you focused? Can you hear me? I see that you're hurting." And her head kind of lolls over. She's in a lot of pain, and she nods, very gently, and tries to mouth, "I can hear you," but she seems just very tired. And he's like, "Can you speak? Is it, are you able to articulate?" And it starts doing a series of really almost weird examinations. Those who are not trained in medicine you would have no idea what he's doing. Like, he's prodding her joints, he's kind of waving a finger in front of her face. You have absolutely no idea what he's doing, but he seems very confident in what he's doing, so you might leave him alone.
Well, while he's doing this, I'm going to gesture over to, I guess, Jeeves or whoever, and put my backpack down and show, the claw, the skeleton hand I grabbed,
Uh-huh.
and I said that this did that to her. and I wouldn't touch it with bare hands.
What? And he kind of, you feel like the 3 more chins have appeared out of nowhere in sudden surprise as his head pulls back and he looks down in disgust. Were you grave robbing?
No. I mean, it's long. There was a lot of things. There's like mechanical like spiders and like a robot sarcophagus and all that fun stuff. But yeah, no, we weren't.
He leans forward and you see 3 or 4 magnifying glasses pop in front of his eyes as he squints at you.
Oh my god.
Madame, have you ingested anything lately?
No.
Any type of... And you can tell that he's examining you in a very suspicious way.
Jeeves is?
Jeeves is. While Ephraim is, off doing his thing.
Look, I have... And I look over to Estbern and I'm like gesturing, like, what is going on? Like, I'm trying to help, and now I have your butler, or your uncle's butler, like, investigating me.
And Jeeves looks over at Estbern and says, "My, you have fallen in with a very wild crowd since you've left, sir."
Something like that, but now's not really the time, Jeeves. The woman's in a bad way.
I can tell. And he kind of looks back at Estella. He's absolutely convinced you're on something. Like,
oh my god.
100% convinced.
Why did I use my math's ability in that battle? Why couldn't I use it now? Somebody do my dance and enchant him.
So Ephraim waves everybody else off of Hilga, and with very, almost a sense of power that doesn't seem fit for a man of his type of stature, whisks Hilga up and basically sprints upstairs. Would you guys like to follow?
Yeah, I will. Samael will.
I guess nobody takes the skeleton hand, so I'm gonna put the backpack on, but she's gonna kind of move a little bit squirmy. It feels like there's a rash on her back because of the backpack. I don't know, maybe related to the thing. It just feels very off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sparrow, Samael?
I follow her upstairs. I follow him
Sammy
upstairs.
followed her upstairs.
Yeah.
Sammy Senpai followed his Kohai upstairs.
Excellent.
Sparrow, since leaving the church, temple, place, whatever, has been extremely quiet and lost in her own thoughts to the point where she, kind of didn't even really notice that Hilga left. So she's probably just gonna stay wherever she's sitting.
Okay.
And staring off into space.
Would anybody like to notice that?
Or staring at the floor. Staring at the floor seems more appropriate. She's staring at the floor.
I think Estbern would.
Okay. So Estbern, what would you like to do about this?
Estbern's gonna go fetch a bottle of brandy.
Drink your mouth away.
Oh boy.
So
I mean, hey.
Stay downstairs.
We need a chaperone downstairs because
No,
knows what's
I mean
gonna
it was common back in the day, liquor for shock.
Yeah, he's absolutely
happen.
right.
Okay. Yeah.
He's not trying to liquor you up for other purposes. He's legitimately trying to help.
Estbern is trained in
Chaperone
medicine.
downstairs.
This is his medical reaction.
Let's get trashed.
Yeah.
Considering she's 19 and probably never had a drop of alcohol. Yeah,
I mean,
sounds appropriate.
He's not gonna stay.
Not
He's
that
gonna
some.
he's gonna go up after his uncle as soon as he gives it to her.
No, she's
not-
had none.
not a
because
lot.
alcohol the senses, so.
Not a lot, but it'll help with the shock. And then he goes upstairs.
There's suddenly this bottle of brandy next to her. What the fuck? Where'd this come from?
So as everybody else is